Sorry about that, guys. Thanks. My sound was muted. Appreciate that. Mindfulness is saying short semiconductors today. We'll see. SpaceX. I swung puts on SpaceX with members last night, so watching that one. I am looking at a long scalp on Cisco, but I think you can short Cisco underneath this previous earnings gap up low. If we retest 114, anything above 114 you buy, anything below you short. But the S&P 500 is showing quite bullish price action here. Oil's down, yields are soft, metals are down. Bitcoin trying to make a move. All three indices are green with the Russell 2000 leading the charge to the upside right now. Interesting. S&P 500 setting up that breakout. SOXX looking strong off of the lows. Come on, Google. Press it. Big squeeze on the S&P 500. I would not get in the way of this freight train today, guys. We got the backdrop of a big squeeze in the market session today. Look at that S&P 500 buy program. Starting to make a move to the top side. Yeah, software stocks are starting to pump. Palantir, Oracle, Microsoft. They are starting to pump. Sox is squeezing. AppLovin's starting to make a move. Interesting. This market's looking crazy strong already. Big squeeze across the tape. Yeah, market's definitely looking bullish. You got the tailwinds in place for higher price today. S&P 500 definitely going to try to take out that high, all-time high. So keep that on watch. We're heading right for that today, guys. Quickly, too. Look at that. That's a quick move. This inverted head and shoulders has broken out on SPY. Uh-oh. Dog's barking. Means we're ripping. Man, Sox go. Sox is now busting through pre-market high with force. Sheesh. Oh, I'm getting an alert on CoreWeave. I think that's a short. Yeah, interesting. So CoreWeave is into an aggressive short level here, guys. It's very aggressive if you're wanting to take it on the short side. I'll watch that one closely. Still seeing the markets acting very well here. Semis are still pushing. You got the S&P pushing. Very, very firm price action to start the session. Some core weave puts, 116 puts, core weave. Gonna look at jumping into some core weave puts. All right, I jumped into core weave 116 puts at $3.33. Gonna see what happens here. It's still squeezing though. What a fucking candle on core weave. What a candle on core weave. Come on, core weave. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Intel's still strong. You got SOX, SOXX pushing. Software is trying to also push simultaneously. A little bit of resistance up here for IGV. But SOX is looking crazy strong. IGV seeing a little bit of sell side pressure. I'd be careful with SOXX. I'm still long Intel. I like Intel a lot, but SOX looks strong, and SOX is broken out of that crazy. Not saying you can't get a scalp here and there, but I don't know. Semis have broken out on the daily, and they're trying to confirm that breakout. They're tough. Bullshit move. Yeah, it's a strong move. It's a strong move. CoreWeave right now is still squeezing to the top side. S&P 500 is still acting well, almost at that all-time high price. We got IGV seeing a small pullback here. That was a crazy move on CoreWeave. S&P 500 looking strong and spicy. Still inside of that opening gap up candle on SOX. Hasn't given us a full-on breakout yet, but it's trying. Mindfulness is saying it's a fake move. Well, the semiconductor earnings were okay across the board. You did have some weakness in certain names reacting negatively, but across the board, it wasn't bad earnings. Obviously, valuations might be telling us something different, but all we can say right now is the price action that's in front of us, you do have a bullish pattern triggering on the SOX and trying to confirm it. Whether or not it holds is another thing, but it's a bullish pattern nonetheless. Fucking CoreWeave, come on, man. I'm waiting for you to dip back down. Come on. Been patiently waiting. I'm looking for CoreWeave, guys, to a profit take zone. I'm looking for CoreWeave to dip back underneath this high pivot. So around 114.50-ish. That's where I'm looking for a profit or a pullback. 114.50 area. You bought SOX puts. You know, SOX is above its pre-market high right now. Intraday, it's bullish. I would say be very careful with that. SOX above pre-market high, I would say the level, you're kind of front running it right now, but if it falls underneath your pre-market high, so 550, then definitely a shortable area, but it's risky. I mean, Intel to me is looking strong. You got Nvidia coming up the back door. You got Micron AMD starting to squeeze a bit. IGV starting to squeeze. Holy moly. Looking at IGV go. Nice push on Rocket Labs. Nice push on AppLovin today. APP. Nice bounce on AppLovin. Really strong. Come on, Core Weave. SpaceX is still struggling a little bit intraday. They're trying to defend its pre-market low. SOX is just mooning here. Breaking out. All right, SOX is breaking out here, guys. SOX is breaking. CoreWeave is even slapping me. SPY new high day. Intel is pushing. Nice job on our Intel calls. They are printing. I'm in the Intel 120s. Intel 120 calls. They're ripping. Supreme Leader saying I'm long SEZL, VNCE, and HP. Nice. Quantum stocks are also holding steady today. Uranium, NNE having a stellar day. IREN, stellar day. SMCI, super duper strong. SOX is still printing to the high side. Look at Intel go, guys. That's a beautiful position. Our Intel position is starting to print. Cisco even getting a bullish reversal. SOX is flying. New high day. Breaking out here. Not really seeing too much resistance now on the daily chart. If we can clear this up until 561 on SOX, 561, 563 area. SPY going for another new all-time high push. Come on, CoreWeave. Gold and silver still pretty weak today. Bitcoin trying to come out the back door, getting some positive flow. Intel still squeezing above 104, baby. Let's go. Nice. Beautiful. All right, CoreWeave, we're back in profit. Come on. Come on, dip below that 114.50 area. Come on, CoreWeave. Come on. Do it for me. Do it for me. Look at Intel going, guys. Intel is one fat beast today. Holy, look at that. Beautiful. Who's long Intel? We are. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get paid today. Go, baby, go. She's a beast. All right, Corby, I'm looking to take some profits soon, guys. I want to see a dip underneath this 114.50 area. I did trim Intel position up over 13% on our leverage shares, 14%, 15% now. Intel's just absolutely flying. Wow. Semis are squeezing. Semis are squeezing. Man, Intel is so strong. Look at friggin' Intel, guys. Our 120 calls are printing. We are in the INTW shares, and we're already up about 15% here. The levered play, beast mode. Absolute beast. Look at these semis, guys. Just keep in mind, semis have triggered that inverse head and shoulders right now and are flying. Come on. All right, CoreWeave is about to hit our level, guys. I'm getting very close to taking profits on CoreWeave trade. I want to see it dip a little bit lower into that 114.50 area. Back underneath this high pivot here. Come on, CoreWeave. Give us the dip. SPY is still a beast up here. Pumping and jumping. That's a fat move on SpaceX, guys. Still lagging quite a bit. Here we go on CoreWeave. S&P 500 still acting well. Market is crazy strong. Crude oil is still pretty soft. The 7-day moving average on crude is still a bit lower, around $80.25. All right, CoreWeave, guys, I'm coming into profit take zone on CoreWeave. Come on, a little bit lower, CoreWeave. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Fucking just keep bouncing off this 115. What are you doing, CoreWeave? Fucking snake. CoreWeave's a snake up here. Palantir Oracle's super duper strong. Acting very well. Rocket Labs, green. Marvell having a good day. Uranium, SMR, UUU are slightly green, but lagging NNE, nano nuclear. That's a strong name today. Come on, CoreWeave. CoreWeave's about to pay us here, guys. SpaceX new low a day. Our puts that we swung yesterday are also up nicely. That was a nice little member trade that we jumped into yesterday. In the options group, we jumped into the 135 puts. September 18th, we saw a large amount of put flow coming into that September 18th period for SpaceX. And the stock is down 2.39% and falling. I like it. Or weave, what are you doing to me? Come on. Fake breakout on socks? We'll see. It could. If it's a fake breakout, there'll be plenty of meat on the bone to short. You're front running the short right now. Pattern's still bullish above all the daily chart moving averages. Not really that extended. So just be careful. I think semis have a chance at getting upside. We're above 534.30. That's the bullish level that I had. And price action's looking solid here. This would be a big hourly candle if it closes at the highs here for stocks. New all-time highs pushing in the markets, but if we get an hourly positive close here on stocks, that confirms the hourly breakout. So just understand we have right now looking like stocks is still going to trend a bit higher. Market's ramping up here. Come on, CoreWeave. Pay us, pay us, pay us, pay us. Come on, CoreWeave. You're almost there, man. You're almost there. Just get underneath that high pivot. Almost there, guys, on CoreWeave. Almost there. SpaceX continuing to unwind. All right, CoreWeave just went underneath that high pivot, guys. It just went underneath that high pivot. That is some of the profit-taking zone right there. All right, guys, I got out of all my CoreWeave at 3.85, 3.85 all out of my CoreWeave in profit. Nice little 16% gain there off of the scalp. A little bit of an easy win. Money's been made there. We're still melting here, guys. So nice job if you're able to short that with us. 116 puts paid. Good job if you captured that trade with us. All right. I'm on to the next one. I'm going to focus back on Cisco now. Cisco is still in this choppy range. We're still trying to get back above that 114 area. This is the area for Cisco. Stocks is still pushing hard here. SPY is still a beast. SpaceX, guys, is still rolling. This coherent might be a short, guys. COHR. COHR, I believe, is a short today. Nasty pattern. I'm going to look for this gap fill 328 puts on COHR. That's what I think I'm gonna do. 1 days, August 14th. What is that gap? That's 330. 330 puts pretty wide spread. I don't like the spread on that one. Interesting. Supreme League saying volume has been increasing each day. Good to know. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from Coherent. The spread on the chain is too wide. I really don't like that. SpaceX is still one of the weaker names on the session, guys, down 2.6%. IGV still at the highs of the session, acting well. SOX got a breakout 30. So on the 30-minute chart, SOX has confirmed a breakout. Now the next candle formation, if we're just doing candle by candle, level by level, we're looking at the in 28 minutes for the hourly SOX candle to confirm the breakout here. So if this candle closes in the next 28 minutes above that high pivot, you've confirmed the inverted head and shoulders breakout, and price action needs to be respected to the high side. We're still looking crazy strong here. You know, I have it. We could actually easily by tomorrow, and if we get a big enough squeeze today, we could be at the 50-day moving average today on SOX. That's 563 and change. So don't sleep, man. Don't sleep on those. This market's strong. Guys, I'm closing half of my SpaceX puts here at 850. Stop at break even on the rest. As I closed half of my SpaceX puts that we took yesterday. Half, stop is at break even, $140 a contract gain. I repeat, $140 a contract gain on SpaceX puts. Member trade. Yeah, we are flying to blue skies. Look at oil. Oil's at the lows of the session. This is not a shortable tape today. I mean, we thread the needle on CoreWeave. That one I was watching since its earnings play. But not too much of a short market today, guys. There will likely be a big fat short, but this market's strong. We're in uncharted territories, like Supreme Leader says, blue skies. Yields are soft, very soft. Rate expectations have changed drastically over the last 2 days with CPI, PPI. You've got SOX showing bullish price action. I mean, just be careful. This tape is strong. This tape is very strong. Still a few laggers in certain aspects of the market, but overall, looks like we're going to trend today. What this first dip in SPY is probably going to be gobbled up very quickly, guys. I know a lot of people are trying to short the S&P here, which you might get a small pullback very soon-ish. But I would say what this pullback's probably going to get bought up really quickly. SOX is seeing a little bit of a downside pressure, so watch that 30-minute SOX chart. Intel is still a beast. Blevins a beast. Micron AMD still squeezing. Interesting. How's Netflix doing? Netflix is up 3.79. Nice day for Netflix. Been a beautiful Netflix trade as well, guys. I'm trimming my Netflix position. Just sold my shares for 13.98% gain. Another member trade. And guys, I just trimmed my Netflix position. We've been long with members off the 67 area down here. Just sold off of that high pivot break into a little bit of resistance here. Next pullback could probably be bought. You might be setting up an inverted head and shoulder. So if you get a small pullback, that likely can be bought, but I just sold my position. Another trade win in the books. Good job if you caught that with us. Cisco's still trying to get through that area. SOX seeing a little bit of sell side. What else we got going on? Pretty big down day for FRMI. Intel seeing a little bit of sell side pressure. Yeah, I would say you could probably try to short SPY here. The only thing that I'm seeing is that even with this small candle pullback in SOX, SPY's not really budging. And that's probably because look at IGV, guys. I mean, this is the tug of war going on in the market. We've seen this over the last several months. We've been in this constant regime of SOX up, IGV down, or IGV up, SOX down. It's been one or the other. And now, over the last couple weeks, we've been observing where we're having days where both SOX and IGV are firming up. So that's telling you why the markets are at all-time highs, because we're starting to see SOX and IGV trade together instead of opposite. And that's a big bullish trend change. All right, guys, SPY is into an aggressive short. If you're looking to do something, I wouldn't take too far out of the money. I'd be buying near the money or in the money on the short side, just in case this is a trending day. So like shorting SPY here, I'd be in 778 puts. Google's trying to push up higher. Trying to break out to the high side as well. So Google's been fairly muted over the last couple days, and it's now trying to bust through its opening range high candle. It could get a fat squeeze, Google, guys, all the way up to 350 from here today. Google looks like it wants to bust through that high pivot resistance. It's been definitely a lagger over the last little few sessions, and now it's trying to break out. So don't sleep on Google, guys. 350 calls. Probably going to try to print here. All right. S&P 500, new high of day. Market's still acting super firm. Still pumping here. Crazy strong, guys. Crazy strong. Core weave again. Yeah, anyone still in core weave, guys, you're laughing. That was the short. Look at that. Beautiful job. Nice job on core weave, guys, if you caught that with us. SOX is still trying to print higher highs here. Hourly candle still strong. We are still pushing. We are pushing. I think Google's the next mag to break out here intraday. It's trying. Market's still trying to grind candle by candle. Google's trying to break out here, guys, of a possible inverted head and shoulders intraday. It's trying. Pre-market high, so we're above it there. Pre-market low, we're above it there. Little top wick on Microsoft. S&P seeing a little bit of sell side. Stocks is still strong. Oil, dollar still pretty weak. SPY seeing it's a little bit of a pullback here. She's breaking out. Let's look at IREN for Holly. Yeah, IREN should cruise to look at this tape, guys. This market's crazy. Full on beast mode. IGV new high of day. SOX is seeing a little bit of a pullback here, but now you're getting some broad participation from the rest of the basket. XLC basket is going for a new high of day. Okay, top side there. Um, go- Still trying to trend. Pushing hard. SPY's still just ripping, guys. This is why it's a tough tape to short, because SPY wants to go higher. Nothing wrong with the tape, guys, other than a little extended and overbought on SPY. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. SpaceX still struggling. Intel, Marvell, Micron, AMD all still pushing. Nice push up on Rocket Labs. SMCI, wow, up 10.4%. That's beast mode as well. Still pushing, having a nice session. Small bounce on crude oil, starting to hit the session. Why are you lagging? Push back up. Wow, Nokia is a beast as well. Hertz is still trying to squeeze. That's crazy. Oh, Google, what are you doing? Big fucking shenanigans. SPY is crazy. All right, IGV pulling back here slightly, guys. SPY, I'm gonna jump into some SPY puts here. I'm gonna try to take it for the first pullback. I'm gonna take 779 puts on SPY, and they're probably gonna be zeros. Taking a phone call. Hey guys, I just closed all my SpaceX puts. SpaceX puts just closed for a lovely 30% gain. That was a member trade. SpaceX puts, and I now am buying the dip. We did short this little bit of a dip on SPY. 779s went profitable. Now I'm back in calls. I think the markets can revisit the highs of the session again. So I'm back in some 0 DTE 780 SPY calls. It's aggressive and risky. I'm going to give it some room to run here. I think that we can get a bounce back to the highs of the session. So good job if you caught that short with us. Now I'm flipping back to the long bias, and I did close SpaceX puts. Semiconductors are seeing their first little pullback here. SOXX seeing a little bit of selling. IGV still sitting around 104. SpaceX around 140. Intel still above 105 and strong. SPY starting to droop a little bit lower here. Still think that we could push back to the highs. I really don't want to see SPY lose that previous all-time high pivot, but 777 is a big area as well, but primarily that previous all-time high pivot. Looks like they're may trying to do a little bit of a sweep here, liquidity sweep. But market still remains pretty firm. Oil trying to bounce slightly. Yields are still soft here across the board. Dixie's still pretty weak. Give us a bounce. That was a nice decline on SpaceX, guys. That was a really good short that we took with members yesterday in the option trading group. Lovely, lovely gain. About $210 a contract on SpaceX. Google's still trying to firm up here. SOX is still trying to push. What else we got going on? IGV still remains pretty decent, up 1.23%. SOX is even stronger, that's up 2.18%. Financials are still flat to green. SMCI is still moving to the top side. Let's pump this market back to the highs, guys. Nothing wrong with this pullback. Nothing wrong. That pullback in SPY was needed. Seeing a little bit of sell side pressure hitting IGV again. Software seeing more downward pressure. You've had about 45 minutes of sell side pressure in software IGV. Again, I still think SPY can push to about 780 and a half here. That is the upside target of this inverted head and shoulders. And usually when you get these breakout patterns through all-time high, it can often yield a pretty big squeeze event, guys. So the fact if SPY keeps consolidating above that previous all-time high pivot, we're going higher. We going higher, baby. Come on, send us back up. So QQQ up 1.22%, SPY up 0.7, IWM up 0.38. Notice how there's been a shift. IWM was your strongest indice. Now it's starting to lag. Let's look at these Qs here. QQQ just got that breakout after a healthy amount of consolidation, and it looks like Qs are going to all-time highs, guys. I'd be surprised if Qs don't try to fill this gap today. That's where I think Qs are going today, is that gap fill, and maybe they pump QQQ tomorrow into all-time highs. Strong chance of that. I mean, how many percentage points are we away right now? So currently speaking, yeah, 2.3% away. Yeah, we could try to get there tomorrow. It would be a pretty crazy rally into the end of the week, but certainly possible. Certainly possible. Come on, SPY. Let's get it. Let's get it. Send us to the top side. This is the fair value gap. SPY needs to maintain this little bit of a impulse candle. 777.58. Send us to the top side. Go, baby, go. SPY. Look at that beautiful back test of the fair value gap. Breaking out here. Push it. What a lovely 1 minute back test, guys. We got a 1 minute gap above here around 778.57. Go, baby, go. SPY's a beast. SPY is a beast. Come on, trend us to new highs intraday. Give us new highs. We bullish, baby. We bullish. Rip it. Rip it. Nice candle bounce, guys. We are full send. Go, baby, go. Rip us to the promised land. Crude oil is still trying to grind slightly higher. Do 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 do. That was a monster move, guys, in SPY. Great move. Do 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 do. You know what stock is trying to firm up, guys? It's going to be the free call out of the day. Rivian. Don't sleep on Rivian, guys. See you at 20 bucks. 1 to 2 months. Don't sleep on Rivian, guys. 1 to 2 months, Rivian should be up 20%. It's going to go for that gap fill. Don't sleep on RIVN. That's your free alpha of the day. Don't sleep on it. If you're going to look at calls, I'd be looking at minimum 1 month out past the September 18th period for Rivian. If you're going to play it long, I just have shares, but I was looking at the chain last night. I would, if you're going to trade Rivian long, and I know retail likes to trade it because contracts are fairly cheap, definitely go farther past the September 18th period, in my opinion. All right, this is the important level for SPY. SPY needs to hold this. A little bit of a breakout. Now seeing sell side rejection. Software is the culprit. IGV continuing to trickle lower here. That's a nasty candle there. Nasty little breakout, fake out. It's a pretty hard rejection on SPY. Nasty. Not looking good anymore. Looking like a big old H. Alright, so it looks like we're going to test that previous all-time high on SPY. Shit's looking weak again. So they're still trying to defend this area. Crude oil is making a little bit of a comeback off the lows. That's probably why we're seeing some additional sell side pressure here. It is trying to grind higher off the 81 area, bouncing off of its 7-day EMA 113. We'll see if it can push back for the 20-day. Stocks is still ripping new highs of day, but software is starting to give up the gains, guys. IGV trickling lower. SPY starting to see some sell side. SPY losing some structure momentum here. Still think that the S&P 500 can push, guys, back to the highs. Semis are still grinding higher and higher, testing 560 on SOX, coming into the 50-day moving average at 563.57. SOX looks like it is going for that 50-day. You are coming into a previous high pivot from mid-July, so there might be some resistance there on semis. Intel up 5.49%. What a beast, guys. What a beast. That was our most bullish trade call out over the last couple days, and Intel has been paying us quite nicely. We're in calls, we're in shares, leverage shares, everything. My SPY calls are getting cooked here. Damn, man. Why'd you do that to me, SPY? You were looking so promising. Come on, SPY. Push it back to the highs. You can do it. Semis are too strong for SPY not to, guys. It's good. IGV still selling off here. Pretty big volume there on the 1-minute SPY candle. Let's see if they defend that previous all-time high, guys. Coming into that prior all-time high pivot, major area. The bulls want to maintain it above. Wow, look at Intel and these socks go, guys. Socks is a beast. Holy moly, socks is a beast. AMAT earnings after hours that could pump the semis even higher. Picks and shovels play of the semiconductors. Holy, these semiconductors are fully bully rippers. Sheesh. That's filthy, man. Ox ripping, guys. SOXX is flying. Crude oil is starting to catch a bit of a bid now too. So you might see a small pullback here in the tape. WTI crude getting a big fat pop. 2 consecutive hours of buy side pressure. You've got now 70 minutes of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive 10-minute green candles on crude oil. WTI, a little bit of resistance here at 82.26. This is where the markets should try to firm up here a little bit. Now you have SpaceX trying to get a bit of a buy program off of the lows. Yeah, Micron's testing 965, up 6%. Big pump on crude oil. Yikes. That's a fat squeeze on crude. Pretty nifty decline on SPY. Starting to give up the goods here. Back testing that previous all-time high pivot. It's looking kind of nasty now. Price action is starting to lose structure here and topple over. Semiconductors are still flying. You got IGV starting to lose momentum, piercing pre-market high. So software is really creating a drag on the tape here. So we are approaching that London close, Europe close, guys. So in 6 minutes, crude oil has still had a huge move off of the lows. 8 consecutive 10-minute candles trying to form here of upside. Still down 0.35% on WTI, but it's had a major, major move. You're going to see how correlated SPY and crude oil are. Basically, the move up in crude has forced SPY down. Pretty much the highs in or the low here in oil almost marks the high here in SPY, this pop. So very big correlation here coming back into pre-market high levels for crude oil. Software's been hit really hard with the dip. SOX hasn't been phased at all. SOX is still pressing. Bitcoin still up 0.5%. Gold, silver still struggling. IWM also lagging a bit. SPY still trying to defend that previous all-time high pivot. Still an area that should be defended, but all comes down to what crude oil does. If crude oil keeps trying to press here, if crude oil gets back over that 83 area, 82.90, that's a bit of a problem. Oh, we're starting to lose momentum here. That's crazy. We're seeing quite a big pullback in SPY and SOX hasn't even made a move down yet. So you can imagine if SOX starts to pull back here, even into its prior day high, around 554, that would be a $6-7 pullback. This S&P 500 could be in trouble. Gosh, it's crazy. SOX is so strong and it's the market's still pulling back here, SPY land. CR still spiking. Big drop on SPY. Nastiness. It's back to the green side. Fuck. My SPY calls got wrecked. Should have just stayed in my SPY puts. Those would have printed. Sheesh. SNDK up 16.7%. Yeah, crazy strong. Look at that move in crude oil, though. Damn. That's a stellar move. XLE turns green again. That's crazy. SPY is getting rocked here. Coming into the 50% retrace zone here of its entire move. Just getting another phone call here, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day here for me. 11:30. I've made quite a bunch of money trading swing trades today. SpaceX profits on the short side, put side. We've banked Netflix. We sold our Netflix position for double-digit gains. We trimmed Intel double leverage position for double-digit gains. Still writing Intel calls and shares higher into the promised land. SOXX, guys, still is acting resiliency. I know a lot of you are shorting this one. Nothing wrong with this pattern. It's not extended. It's not overbought. Pattern is bullish. You have triggered that inverted head and shoulders both on the hourly, 4-hour, and daily, looking to confirm it. This confirms the daily chart breakout if we close up around here. As long as you don't get a hard rejection closing inside of yesterday's candle. This is a breakout pattern that has upside to call it 635 based off of the inverse head and shoulders on SOX. Now, granted, you can get a small sell candle off of the 50-day to backtest kind of your 7 or your 20. Usually after that bullish 7 and 20 crossover, you can get a little bit of a dip back into the 7-day, possibly the 20-day. Those should be bought. The level that I'm looking at is this volume surge zone. I've been hammering and talking about this area for last little few days, and that's the area to beat. That's your highest volume that was been traded in many weeks. So that's the area where most amount of liquidity is sitting, and if the bulls keep defending that 534.30 area, we're going higher. And so far, price action is still trending. Obviously, we do have after hours AMAT earnings, the picks and shovels of the semiconductors. This can definitely shake up the SOXX because it does have a decent amount of weighting. I think it's between 3 to 4%. So if it's up to me, I think the market still remains bullish. SPY still could push back to the highs of the day, but it's going to take a rejection here in crude oil for SPY. Still very correlated. Other than that, guys, good job. Sorry about the SPY calls. I did jump into some 780s here. They are kind of cooked unless we get a big trend into the afternoon, which is still possible. But I am done for the day, guys. Good job if you made some profits on the swing side of the market. All right, we'll see everyone tomorrow. Cheers, everybody.